Now, I want you to imagine a moment in time when music becomes more than just sound, but when it transforms into a powerful force. It's filled with emotion, intellect, and boundless creativity. And that's exactly what happened in Italy in the early 1970s when a wave of young, daring musicians dared to merge rock's explosive energy with the elegance of classical music and the adventurous spirit of jazz. What we got was Italian progressive rock. Now let's look at what I believe were the top 7 bands. And we're starting off with PFM, who were formed in 1970. Their full title, Premiata Forniere Marconi, are probably the most successful and internationally recognised Italian progressive rock band. Initially, they were influenced by British prog rock groups like King Crimson and Genesis, and they developed a sound that combined symphonic rock with classical and Italian folk music. Their breakthrough came with albums like Storia di un Minuto and Per Un Amico, which showcased complex instrumentation, melodic compositions, and poetic lyrics. PFM were one of the few Italian bands to really gain popularity abroad, especially after signing with Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Manticore label and releasing English language versions of their albums, such as Photos of Ghosts. Their ability to mix rock with classical flourishes, along with virtuosic performances, made them an icon of Italian prog. Now, founded in 1969, Banco del Mutuo Soccorso is one of the leading bands of the Italian progressive rock scene. Now, with their classically trained musicians, complex arrangements and poetic lyrics, Banco's music often merges symphonic rock with jazz, folk and classical elements. Now, the powerful operatic voice of frontman Francesco Di Giacomo, coupled with Vittorio Nocenzo's keyboards-driven compositions, gave Banco a signature sound that made them stand out not just in Italy but on the global prog rock stage as well. They're best known for albums like Darwin. This is a concept album about evolution, and La Sono Nato Libero, which demonstrated their ability to blend philosophical themes with intricate musical structures. The band Le Orme started out in mid-1960s as a psychedelic rock band. They quickly evolved into one of Italy's premier progressive rock acts. Their early 1970s albums, especially Filone e Serono, established them as a key player in Rocco Progressivo Italiano. Now, this concept album, depicting the tale of two opposing planets, really became a hallmark of the symphonic prog style, combining those lush keyboard works and emotional melodies with the band's distinctive Italian flair. The Orme's sound draws comparisons to Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but really with a Mediterranean warmth to it. Their music often mixes lush, classical-inspired pieces with more minimal emotional balance, maintaining quite a balance between complex instrumentation and lyrical simplicity. Formed in 1972, Aria were known for pushing the boundaries of progressive rock with their experimental fusion of jazz, rock, and avant-garde, as well as world musical influences. Led by the virtuosic and highly unique vocalist Demetrio Stratos, Aria produced daring, politically charged music that often featured complex time signatures and unusual instrumentation. Their debut album, Arbeit macht frei, set the tone for a career marked by defiance of musical and political norms. Stratos' innovative vocal techniques, combined with the band's complex, jazz-tinged compositions, made them one of the most experimental and avant-garde bands in the whole of the Italian prog rock scene. Aria's music remains highly influential for its fusion of genres and uncompromising artistic vision. Il Balletto di Bronzo emerged in the early 1970s and quickly established themselves as one of the darkest and most intense prog bands in Italy. Their 1972 album YS is often considered a masterpiece of Italian prog, known for its apocalyptic themes, intricate compositions and dramatic mood shifts. Blending hard rock, classical music and avant-garde experimentation, YS features multi-part suites with complex arrangements and haunting vocals by Gianni Leone, who also played the keyboards. The album's heavy, mysterious atmosphere set Il Balletto di Bronzo apart from many of their contemporaries, and although the band had a relatively short-lived career, YS remains as a cult classic in progressive rock circles. Formed in Naples in 1971, Ossana were one of the most eclectic and innovative bands in Italian progressive rock scene. They drew on a wide array of influences from hard rock to classical, folk, jazz and even Mediterranean and Eastern music. Their 1973 album Pallipoli is a standout of Italian prog movement, and it blends surreal and allegorical lyrics with a dizzying mix of styles. Ossana also incorporated theatrical elements into their live performances, often done in facepaint and elaborate costumes reminiscent of Genesis's stage shows. Their ability to combine progressive rock's complexity with a distinctly Italian cultural identity helped them build a loyal following both in Italy and abroad. Goblin were formed in 1972 and they gained fame for the work on horror movie soundtracks, particularly those directed by Dario Argento. Their moody, atmospheric compositions were groundbreaking, blending progressive rock with elements of electronic music, funk and symphonic rock. The band's work on the soundtrack for Profondo Rosso and Suspira really remains iconic to this day, with eerie melodies and hypnotic rhythms that perfectly match the psychological horror of these films. Goblin's music had a huge influence on both the progressive rock and film score genres, and their unique ability to create suspenseful, haunting soundscapes has kept them relevant in cult music and horror circles really for decades. Now, I know what you're thinking out there. These bands are all very well, Dave, but I want answers to the following questions. Okay, bring it on. First off, the lyrics are in Italian, making the music inaccessible to non-Italian speakers. Okay, well, I would answer that by saying whilst the lyrics might be in Italian, it might seem like a barrier to non-Italian listeners. It actually adds to the music's authenticity and emotional depth as far as I'm concerned. Italian, with its melodic and expressive qualities, enhances the music, even for those who don't actually understand the words. Just as opera or world music captivates audiences despite the language differences, then the beauty of Italian progressive rock lies in the emotion and intensity conveyed through the vocals. Okay, I hear you ask, Italian progressive rock is too niche and doesn't appeal to a wider audience. Again, I would say to you that whilst Italian progressive rock may appeal primarily to fans of experimental and awful music, its niche appeal is part of its charm. It's really a genre that thrives on authenticity and artistic integrity without really trying to cater to mass market trends. It's got a devoted fan base that's drawn to its unique fusion of Italian culture, classical influences, and rock. And furthermore, many Italian prog bands, such as PFN, have gained international recognition, showing that the music's appeal can transcend borders. And finally, you might ask, the music is far too complex and inaccessible. Well, I would counter that by saying that whilst the Italian progressive rock is known for its intricate compositions and sophisticated arrangements, this complexity is precisely what gives the music its emotional depth and lasting appeal. Now, the genre is designed to reward attentive, repeated listening, offering something new with each experience. It's like classical music or jazz. It's meant to challenge and inspire the listener rather than just providing background sound. Now, for those who embrace it, the richness and layers of Italian prog can lead to a truly immersive and rewarding musical experience. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this snapshot into what I believe are the top 7 Italian prog bands. Look out for more videos coming up soon featuring this topic. But in the meantime, I shot a video featuring an album by PFM recently, and that's the video I want you to watch next. I'll see you over there.